Welcome to this Shortcuts Live video on understanding and setting up your targets. Now you can set your targets up for both the business as a whole and individually for your employees. So to do that, go to menu. You'll see under employees and rosters, we have the targets set up to the right. Let's go to select that. Now you'll see your business there at the top and your employees listed underneath. Under business, you'll notice we have 6 KPIs and then an option here to have GST included in the totals or not. So whatever you pop in for your totals won't change when we touch the including or excluding GST. It's just whether visually or you have included those when you've entered the total targets in. So I'm going to keep this at excluding, but to include, you would just simply slide that over like that. Now we're going to come back to the business as a whole, but I've already popped in some targets for Lucy and Sarah. So we'll go to Lucy. So I'll explain what we've got here. Now the second one down says service sales. So for this week, I've put in here that 2,600 is Lucy's service target, 400 there for retail. Then the total of those two is 3,000. Now for rebooking, Lucy has worked here a little bit longer. She's a salon owner. So I popped her in at 70% for her rebooking total. Now the other two, which are customer visits and average spend, entirely up to you whether you want to use those or not. You don't have to use all 6 of these KPIs when you're setting this up. Now I've included it here just to show you how this is going to look on the report itself. So what we do, we go over, we'll have a look at a period of time. So let's just take an average over the past 3 months, for example. How many customers would Lucy normally look after in that period? And then we can determine the number of visits. Then what we want to do is look at our total sales. So our total sales of 3,000 into our 15 would then make 200. So 15 times 200 is going to take us to our 3,000. So that's how I've worked that out for Lucy. Now for Sarah, I've excluded those 2 KPIs and just put in there that the rebooking is 60. And then again, we've got the service, retail, and then total of those 2 up at the top. So what I'll do then is go to business, and we're going to put in the total of Sarah and Lucy together if they're going to reflect what needs to be taken in the business itself. So for service sales, we're going to go for 3,500. Now the total retail for the 2 of them is 600, but you might want to factor in then if you have clients walking through the door and buying retail off the shelf. So if you're a retail salon, so you've got clients coming in buying your retail without actually having any services done, then you might want to increase this total to say 800 to reflect that you might have 200 of over-the-counter sales. So that one go to 4,300 up there at the top. Now Lucy's rebooking was 70, Sarah's was 60, so I'm going to take an average of that at 65. So then I'm going to select Done in the bottom right corner and then go to Reports. You'll see that Targets is situated on the second row. Up at the top, we have our 3 drop-down boxes as normal. We have our reporting period, the individual sites, and then who we're going to be looking at. So I'm going to be looking at the business as a whole. So what we should see are 4 KPI totals, because I didn't include customer visits and average spend. So just scroll down, you can see that we have a 50% at the bottom there, but we do have it also to the right-hand side. So I'm just going to look at rebooking first. So you can see that the rebooking is target is 65%, and we're currently on 50. So we're a little bit below. We've got a little bit of time to go there to catch up and make sure that that is going to hit the target by the time that our Saturday comes around, which is the end of this reporting period. So let's take a look at the center graph here at the top first, which is our service sales. So what do these 3 lines indicate here? So the target is our gray line. So you can see that dotted gray line moves all the way up there, somewhere between 3 and 4,000 by the time it gets to Saturday. Now we have pre-booked. That there represents what amount do we have booked in the appointment book. So if everything goes as planned with what's booked in for this week, by the time we get to Saturday, we will be already above our target. So that gives us sort of an indication of how we're going to go in terms of upselling and what we need to do in the salon to make sure that we're hitting that target. Now with retail sales, obviously we can't have any sort of prediction around how your retail sales are going to go. They are as and when per client. But as you can see, we do have our target. And if I just hover over that line there, that we're 650 below the target as it is. So we've got a little way to go to catch up with that one. Over on the left-hand side is the complete total. So just the total of your service and retail together. So now you can see that our total for what's booked in is below our total target. So that's because it's including our retail sales. So we are a little bit below target as we are at the moment, but today is representing Tuesday. So that's where we are at the moment on Tuesday. So we have a little bit to go until Saturday. So let's have a look at our individual employees. So we're going to have a look at Lucy first. So then we select and go to view. So because we put in 6 KPIs for Lucy, you can see we've got a couple of extra ones down here at the bottom. Now, the only one that's not going to be in real time, as in you're not really going to be able to tell, is your customer visits. A little bit like your retail sales. So you can see how you're going at the moment, but you're not really going to know whether you hit it until you actually get to Saturday. Same here with your customer visits. However, rebooking for Lucy over on the right-hand side is 75%. And her target is 70. So you can see here that Lucy at the moment is way ahead of the game. In the average spend over on the left-hand side at the bottom, 177 average per ticket, she's 12 below. Yep, so even though at the top in the center here, our graph says that based off what is booked in, she's going to be hitting her target. As it stands at the moment on the Tuesday, she's not hit her average spend. So this would indicate to me that she probably is going to hit her average spend because she's already above based off what is booked in. And over on the right hand side, you can see again, we have the retail, same as before. And over on the left, just a little bit of work to go there to hit the total sales here for Lucy, but not as much as the previous graph, which was for the business as a whole, which would tell me that maybe Sarah is underperforming. So let's have a little look at Sarah. We'll scroll back up to the top and we'll select Sarah and click view. So just the 4 KPIs here for Sarah. So center graph, service sales. As you can see, by the time we get to Saturday for Sarah, she's not going to be hitting her target based off what is booked in. So Sarah knows she's got some upselling to do before Saturday, so she can start planning for that now on Tuesday. So that's the great thing about targets, is we're not looking towards the end of the week to see if we're going to hit our target and then suddenly we're sort of rushing for that. What we have here is Tuesday and we can see, so plenty of time for Sarah, like I said, to sort of get those upsells in to reach her target. Retail sales, she has none at the moment. So a little bit of way to go there as well, which means that we do have quite a gap between our target and sort of predicted sales for the week. Now down below, rebooking for Sarah is at 40%. So she is a little bit there below her target of 60% as well. Yep, so again, she can see how she's going for the week in terms of her rebooking as well. So if you're thinking, well, how do our employees get to see these for themselves? Please look at our video on security, because you can give all your employees access to this platform. But obviously you want it to be security enabled so they don't get to see all the reports for the whole salon. All right, so please have a look at that video if you want your employees to have this on their phone and be able to check their targets in real time.